2, Siman Lamed Zayin. The Mechaber writes, Godol Schar Mitzvahs Tefillin. There's a great reward for those that wear tefillin. V'chol mi she'eina menicham hu b'chlal poshei so begufan. And if God forbid you don't wear tefillin, you're considered sinning God with your body. So the Mishnah Berurah says, Schar shekol menichan marich yamim ba'olam hazeh. You got arichas yam in this world. Aleim yichyu kolomer oisem shesaynim shem Hashem aleihim tefillin yichyu muftach shu ben olam haba. You get olam haba as well. Ve'ein eish shel gehenim shoyler boy. V'chol avenoisav nimcholm loy. All your averos are forgiven. And anyone who's not manicham, right? It's poshei so begufan. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Pirish afilu miniasim hurak leprokim. What does it mean poshei so begufan? How often do I not have to wear it? So says the Mishnah Berurah, it means if you wear it, don't wear it on a steady basis. The kolshkin mevatel tamid mitzvah, especially if you never wear tefillin, then it's poshei so begufan. Primigadim hevi afilu misha bitul mitfillin yoyim echad ugam kem b'chlal poshei Yisrael. Even if you just don't wear tefillin for one day, it's considered poshei Yisrael. So the Rabbi used to say that because there are shittas that hold. There are some shittas, the Mishnah Berurah is alluding to it. There's some shittas that hold that poshei Yisrael begufan is someone who never wore tefillin in his life. Kakafta del monach tefillin. It means if you wore tefillin once in your life, at least according to that shita, so that was part of the motivation. Their famous letters back and forth between Rav Hutner and the Rebbe. The Rav Hutner was not a very big fan of the tefillin campaign. He felt that tefillin to be in the street. It's and the Rebbe said, if you're able to protect a Jew from going in the category of poshei Yisrael begufan, then that should outweigh the other tightness. The Mishnah Berurah then continues, it's only poshei Yisrael begufan if you don't wear tefillin because it's a bizayon to you to wear tefillin, meaning I hate tefillin. Let's say someone is OCD, he doesn't wear tefillin because he doesn't have gufnaki, he's going to pass gas. Now he's wrong, because you should still wear tefillin. He's wrong because you should at least put it on to say Shema. This, it's funny. Well, let's say someone has an oinus. They have a stomach issue, and they can't wear tefillin one day. So the poshei Yisrael? No, that's not poshei Yisrael. Poshei Yisrael is where someone doesn't care. It's a bizayon, or the Mishnah Berurah adds, because of abach, afil ein mitzvah bezuy beinav, ach mimanam lenichem mishum bitol malacha, yishar has simam and machas atzos. Gam ki b'chol poshei Yisrael. Poshei Yisrael is where you don't wear tefillin because you don't care, or you're lazy, or you're just busy, whatever. That's poshei Yisrael. It makes me feel a little better because the only time, I don't know, I don't know if I should say, but the only time I missed tefillin once in my life, I don't remember if it was in the month before or like the first week. It was early on. And I don't think it was my fault. I remember I was devastated. It's a nice thing I was devastated. I don't know if I'd be devastated now, but I was devastated back then. I remember I didn't wear tefillin because I had a stomach bug. So I was sick in the morning, and I was never told. I was a 13-year-old kid. I was never told that you could wear it at 5 p.m. I thought it was a morning thing. So I guess, but it makes me feel a little better. At least it's not poshei Yisrael. It's not like I didn't care. And he says, he says it's a musar to those people that put the tefillin in. It's on the forehead and they don't wear it in the proper spot. It's not. It's like he didn't wear it. It's like putting it. It's like in the case. Now, begufan, the dinoi pasuk b'shas tafilu mu'ish beini darkashal kadosh baruch hu hatas haklaf kapi chesed. That even if you're a person who's 50-50, and normally 50-50 in Shemaim, Hashem always goes to chesed. Kivan shenimtza b'teichav noisav anu zeh chaf chayv mechras. But God forbid, if you don't wear tefillin, it's a terrible, terrible thing. V'umuchach le'iri gehenim v'chas shagam ke'em v'noisim merubim nid b'chem yur beis chodesh. God forbid. And he says that he goes on, because it's so important, therefore a person should make sure to buy tefillin from a proper person and to have a chashav tefillin. Zakeli van veyu, the power of tefillin. By the way, just agav, I don't want to take too long, but it's okay, it's 2 minutes. Yesterday's video from Gem, I subscribe, so the video from Gem was a soldier, 1959, I don't know how from he was, an American soldier who was going into Korea. So the Rebbe called him in. Before he went in, the Rebbe said, I want to give you something. And he gave him tefillin. He says, I have tefillin. The Rebbe says, wear these tefillin. And he says, promise me you'll wear it every day. He said, fine. So the American soldier goes and he says that he was in basic training And he said he instantly realized in basic training there was a lot of anti-Semitism, and the guy went over to him, his commander, and he said, I know you're Jewish, you know you're Jewish. Make sure no one else knows you're Jewish. So he started to wear tefillin, but it was mamish, it wasn't working. So he stopped wearing tefillin for a few days. He gets a call on a payphone from his mother. His mother said, 770 just called me, and I don't know what this means, but the Rebbe said you're not keeping your promise. So he said, okay. So he goes and he says, I need to not be in this platoon anymore. So they said the only way you could not be in this platoon is if you go to the front lines, because nobody wants to go to the front lines. He said, I'll go to the front lines because then I'll be able to wear tefillin. So he says he wore tefillin every day. And then the end of the war, there was one battlefield where they were stuck. They were surrounded. They ran out of ammo, and they were in a foxhole. And it's raining and it's snowing and it's the winter. He didn't wear tefillin that day because it was pikuach nefesh. All of a sudden, one of the soldiers, not Jewish, his nickname was Bear, like Ari, Bear. He said, Bear, we need God. Do you have those boxes? Put those boxes on. The guy's like, I'm not doing. He put a gun to his head. The other soldier, I guess he lost his mind to shekel. He said, if you don't put the boxes on, I'm shooting you right now. I said, Kachava. So he put on the tefillin in the mud. He said, he looked up, he said, Shema, and all of a sudden, the bomb stopped falling. He said, bombs stopped falling, and they were able to go back to the foxhole. I said yesterday, Kachav, Mamish, the power tefillin. But the murder gazach is how the Rebbe said, you're not keeping your promise. That's a chacham, man chacham, right? Anyway, Sif Beis. The Mechaber says, mitzvah liyas olav kol hayom. There's a mitzvah really to wear tefillin all day. Now the Bir Halacha brings down, it's unclear, is it a mitzvah deraisa all day, or a mitzvah derabanan all day? There's a mitzvah deraisa for 1 second. But there is a mitzvah all day long. So why don't we wear tefillin all day long? Says the Shulchan Aruch, because you need gufnaki, which means mental nakias, not thinking about things you shouldn't be thinking about, and also physical cleanliness. By the way, the Bir Halacha points out, if you say that it's a mitzvah for a second deraisa and the rest of the day is derabanan, it makes it a little easier why we don't do it, because it's derabanan. It's a mitzvah deraisa to wear 20 yoimam from nates until tseis. It's a little bit hard to say that we don't do it. Okay, no. We should at least wear for Shema and Tefillah. By the way, one sheet that they bring that from the Brisker Rav, that the Brisker Rav held that it's a mitzvah deraisa every second of the day, not daily, every second. What does that mean? So every second is included daily. The prayer in the Brisker Rav, Sternbach quotes, the Brisker Rav used to tell people, if let's say you forgot to wear tefillin one day, or your tefillin were puzzle, more practically, your tefillin were puzzle, continue wearing them from now on, double the amount of time. Because it'll accumulate over time the same mitzvah. That's the Brisker Rav. Mishnah Berurah says in Sivkat and Hey on Beis, the Bizman Kotzik is there, but Kal Yochel Izar Mahafacha. Shema and Tefillah, Shachris, you should be able to have Gufnaki. Shas Kriyishma. Why Kriyishma is so significant? To Kal Akaira Kriyishma, but Tefillin, Ki made those Shekabaatzmai. If you don't wear Tefillin, if you say Shema without Tefillin, it's a steer in the testimony. It says Tefillin in Shema, so it's a contradiction. Now, okay, fine. He says if you're going to wear tefillin after davening, like for learning, make sure not to say dvarim b'telim. Says the Mechaber in Gimel, katan hayodei lishmar tefillin b'tahara. If a katan is able to wear tefillin b'tahara, he's old enough and he's mature enough to wear tefillin b'tahara. V'shelo yishan b'hem, v'shelo yafiach b'hem, that he won't sleep and he won't pass gas. V'shelo l'kanis b'hem b'beis hakisein, he will know not to go into the bathroom. Chayiv aviv likanos no tefillin l'chancho. His father is obligated to buy him tefillin for chinuch. Now this would imply even 10, 11 years old. Says the Ramah, v'yesh aim d'hai katan dafku sheben gimel shanim v'yom echad v'chein agav ein l'shanis. The Ramah says we hold that the chiyuv of chinuch only is at 13, meaning 13 and shtei cyrus, then you have to wear tefillin. 13 and no shtei cyrus, that's what the Mechaber is referring to. So that would make sense. According to the Mechaber, it would even be 11, 12. The Ramah says no, from 13 on. By the way, the Bir Halacha points out from the Pri Megadim. So you tell me 13 is when there's a chinuch? I thought 13 you're already an adult. Okay, fine. The Mishnah Berurah then says, Ben Yugim Shanim. I'm sorry, Yud Beis v'chein nagu v'achshav nagu laniach beis a gimel chadash from koydem azman. The Magen Avraham says the minig nowadays is 2 or 3 months before. I think a lot of people have a minig of a month before. I told, because I was asked Shaila recently that someone has the minhag of a month before, but the month is in the summer and the grandparents aren't around. Can they do 6 weeks before? I said it's fine because the Makaris at 2 to 3 months. It's not a hard and fast rule.